Genesis Communications presents the show that's helping people see better and feel better all over Florida. It's Ask the Doctor with board-certified optometric physician, certified nutritional specialist, and popular radio host, Dr. Michael Lange of Lange Eye Care and Associates.
Doctor, my eyes, but cannot see the sky. Is this the price for having learned how not to cry?
Alrighty, good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute, 4-5 Vitamins. And I'm here each and every Saturday morning live to answer any and all questions you may have regarding your vision and eye care or any nutritionally related topic. So you can pick up the phones and give me a call, 866-977-4820. We're broadcasting from Genesis Communications this morning in Largo, Florida. You can also watch me on newstalkflorida.com. All right. I got to tell you a few things really quick. It's the summer, and we're running some great specials at the Lange Eye Institute. Remember, the Lange Eye Institute is just a hop, skip, and a jump from wherever you are. Not that far from Gainesville, not that far from Tampa, Clearwater, or Ocala. The Lange Eye Institute is close to 35,000 square feet in the dead center of the Villages, actually right off of 301, just about a half mile off of 301, so closer to the interstate side than the 441 side. Anyway, we got a 40% off frame special at the Lange Eye Institute for all of July. 40% off all frames. So if you want a designer frame that's $1,000, you're getting $400 off of it. If it's $100, you're getting $40 off of it. So come by the Lange Eye Institute, take part in the summer special. Also, I want to thank everybody for taking part in our summer super protein and superfood special. I mean, we just got 4 pallets of this stuff in because over the last 3-4 weeks since we started this, it's been selling literally like hotcakes. So our Fortify Super Protein I developed a few years ago, remember, is a non-genetically mutated cow, an A2 cow that we utilize, and we use whey protein concentrate from these New Zealand cows. No hormones, no antibiotics, no steroids. And this protein actually has a little higher amino acid profile, the way we develop it, than most of the stuff you buy over the counter. So we use a code called SUMMER. That's the code, the promotion code if you go to Fortify.com, or if you go to the Nutrition Center or the Fortify Center in Ocala, just use the code SUMMER, especially on the website, Fortify.com, on the promo code, and you have to buy the protein and the new organic blue-green superfood, and you're going to get 30% off. I mean, that's a great deal. 30% off at checkout at the promo code. Just put SUMMER in at Fortify.com. Also, have a pen and paper. I'm going to give you the phone number for Fortify Vitamins because a lot of you, believe it or not, do not have internet access. The phone number for Fortify Vitamins is 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. All right, we're going to open up the phone lines here, and I bet you we know who the first caller is. It's got to be Bob. Bob, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Lange. Good morning, good morning. How's our Viper doing?
It is doing great. As a matter of fact, it's just about broken in, and I'm heading either up to Road Atlanta or down to Homestead, Miami Speedway, for some racing next weekend.
Which will mean you're not going to be live next week? You're going to be running?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be live because it might be on Sunday only, but it might be on Saturday. I got to find out depending on which course I go to. So I might be live and I might not. I just don't know yet.
Well, you said last week that you were clocking 220 and you're not broke in yet. What are your expectations once you get this machine ready to run?
No. It's not going to go. That was actually the lap time at Sebring Speedway. Yep.
Okay.
But the car will go 200 miles an hour.
Yes, I'm sure it will. All right. For today, have a young lady in church who has been kind of in the midst of a diagnosis of either a gastrointestinal problem or an ulcer. Do you have any recommendations that I might be able to give to her tomorrow about how to deal with an ulcer if it is in fact an ulcer?
Well, I mean, first she needs to find out if it truly is an ulcer. You know, there's a whole host of things that can cause, if we're talking about stomach ulcers, you know, there's a bacteria called Helicobacter pylori, which is one of the number one reasons for that. So believe it or not, sometimes they have to go on a type of antibiotic to help that ulcer. Long-term use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, aspirin, things like this, increasing acidity in your stomach, you know, doing a whole host of things from eating really spicy hot food and hot sauce to, believe it or not, drinking water that is very acidic. So that's why we always preach drink spring water that's relatively alkaline instead of reverse osmosis and distilled water. So there's a whole host of things that can cause this. So we got to find out truly if it is an ulcer. There's really some good treatments for ulcers nowadays, some natural treatments. Believe it or not, we've talked about this before. Honey, especially raw honey, local raw honey, and even better than that, raw Manuka honey, really possesses some amazing curative properties and can help in many cases. It can help kill the harmful bacteria that develops these type of ulcers in the stomach. And other things, bananas have been shown to be help mucus and increase mucus in the digestive tract, maybe help with that. Garlic even. So cabbage, you know, an old home remedy is cabbage soup or juicing the cabbage. That can help with stomach ulcers as well. So there's a whole host of things that can do that. If I recall, licorice is one as well. So there's many natural ways of treating stomach ulcers, but first she needs to find out if truly it is a stomach ulcer. Maybe follow her doctor's advice, or see a naturopathic physician or somebody that's a homeopathic type doctor and see what they have to say as well.
All right. Well, to the best of my knowledge, the toss-up between the gastrointestinal problem and an ulcer did come from the doctor.
Right.
So he's a little undecided at this point, I guess.
And, a lot of other things can be, she could have irritable bowel syndrome. She could have, celiac disease. She could have ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease. There's a whole host of things. So, as a rule of thumb, I tell people to go on a gluten-free diet, all right? Remember, drink water like spring water. It says spring on the bottle. I like Fiji, Avion, things like that. Go on a FODMAP-free diet. That's why our superfood has become so popular, the Fortify Organic Blue Green Superfood. It is actually FODMAP-free. That means it doesn't have any of the fruits and vegetables in it that ferment in the gut and actually cause bloating and gas and tenderness and pain and aggravate IBS or start an IBS-type syndrome. So gluten-free, FODMAP-free, spring water. Chew your food 40 or 50 times before swallowing it. Some of the other things that we mentioned, the honey, the garlic, the licorice, the bananas, things of this nature, cabbage soup, all of that can be beneficial. And there's a lot of other things that can be done to benefit. Believe it or not, vitamin D deficiencies. So go out and get a little sunshine. People that are overweight, lose that weight, improve circulation. So there's a whole host of things, but if it isn't also, she needs to get it addressed and get it fixed because she's going to be in a lot of pain.
All right, very good. Well, if honey, is it just a teaspoon of honey?
Yeah, I mean, I would do like a teaspoon, maybe 3 times a day of the honey. And raw Manuka honey with an MgO factor above 400 or above would ultimately be the best. But if you can't get Manuka honey and it's very expensive, just go with raw local honey.
All right. Very good. All right, Dr. Lange. Well, I hope you have fun next week. I would prefer to talk to you on the phone rather than having you driving your beast, but at the other hand, I know that you got to get your adrenaline up sometime during the week.
All right, Bob, you take care, brother.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I am an adrenaline junkie. Most of you that know me, I got a need for speed every now and then, but I'm not twisting the throttle anymore, so I'm not at the motocross park, and that's a lot safer. When I told my wife I wasn't going to be racing motocross or riding the dirt bike or heading out to the motocross park anymore because I'm getting too old, she was relieved. And she said, oh, honey, we got a dock on the bay now. You're going to get a boat. You're going to go fishing, right? You're going to play golf. I said, no, I'm going to race cars instead. 4 wheels on the ground, roll cage around me, much safer. All right. Phone lines are open, 1-866-977-4820, 1-866-977-4820. If you're watching me right now, you see I'm holding up a little bag of something. This is like my favorite snack in the world now. It is really cool stuff. It's made by a company called Paleo.Simplified. You've heard me talking about them lately. It's a gluten-free superfood. Remember, we were just talking about people with stomach ulcers. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, bloating. A lot of this could be related to the snacks that you're eating. So you think you're eating a good snack and you're eating granola. You think it's good for you. Look at the other ingredients in your granola. You'd be surprised. Granola is not gluten-free. Granola has a lot of stuff that potentially is not good for you in there. So this is called Honey Nut Fruit Crunch. We just got like 5 pallets of this in at the Fortify Vitamin Center because we sell a lot of this online, believe it or not, now. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at paleo.simplified.com. You can get it at fortify.com. You can get it at Nature's Food Patch if you're here in Clearwater. Nature's Food Patch. And they have all the Paleo Simplified bars. You'll love the bars. Energy bars are amazing. Pre-workout, in the middle of the workout, in the middle of a bike ride, even post-recovery. So Paleo Simplified, check them out online, paleosimplified.com. But the Honey Nut Fruit Crunch is toasted almonds, cranberries, bananas, coconuts. There is no binders, there's no fillers, there's no wheat, barley, rye, there's no oats. Any of the things that potentially have, negative side effects on your body. So it's right here. I'm holding it up. Gluten-free, superfood, Paleo-Simplified, Honey Nut Fruit Crunch. We actually have it at the Lange Institute. We got a little section where you can buy paleo bars and the Fruit Crunch to make it easy for you. So now it's very simple to get. Many places handle it. Many, Whole Foods and places like that handle it. Amazon has it. Paleosimplified.com, Fortify.com, the Lange Institute, or Fortify Nutrition Center right there on 17th Street in Ocala. And I urge all y'all to come visit. Go see Danny, Miss Nita. Go see Mandy over at the Nutrition Center. Once again, very close to just about anybody and everybody. You can go in there, and where else can you go in a little health food store and try a protein drink, try the superfood, try the Paleo Crunch, try the Paleo bars before you buy them. So the address for the Nutrition Center, it's just called Fortify Vitamins, is 1510 Southwest 17th Street. That's in Ocala. It's right next to Wood U. You can't miss it. Fortify Vitamins. That's a little air-conditioned warehouse. That's a distribution center that we have. So go by there. Try the Paleo Crunch, the Paleo bars. You can try have them mix up the superfood and the protein, the vanilla or the chocolate protein, and some almond milk or coconut milk or water, and try it. See what you think. Heck, that's a free lunch. Come have lunch, breakfast, or supper on us at the Lange Nutrition Center. Actually, it's called Fortify Vitamins. We call it Lange Nutrition Center, but Fortify Vitamins Distribution Center right there on 17th Street in Ocala, Florida. I'm going to give you their phone number, 866-503-9746. 866-503-9746. Also, I want to mention something because we got a lot of callers that have retina problems that talk to us on this program. I am starting to keep a lot of records now of patients that are improving that are taking our Fortify vitamins. Yesterday, we actually had a patient that I have seen from Alachua. She comes down from Gainesville. She's had a form of what we call idiopathic central serous chorioretinopathy, swollen retinas. And it's actually gotten pretty bad to the point where she had 2,400 vision, legally blind. Her retina specialist said there wasn't really anything that could be done. We started her on Fortify Focus. Just one pill a day in September. Now remember, for years this has been stable and she hadn't seen well. One pill a day. We saw in March she went from 2,400 to 2,060 minus. 50% less inflammation. I saw her yesterday, actually day before yesterday, she had 20/20 vision. 90% of the inflammation in the retina was gone. This was natural. Fortify Focus, combination of lutein, zeaxanthin isomers, and astaxanthin. Let me tell you, was it just time? Was it prayer? What was it? It all started when we put her on the Fortify Focus. So I would say there's definitely some correlation. I see this every single day, people improving when they're on the right nutritional products, the right diet. All right, phone lines are open, 1-866-977-4820. We're going back to the phones. Steve in Clearwater, good morning.
How are you, my friend?
I am doing good. How you doing?
You know, this is 4th of July, so I'm going to ask a question. It's a little off topic for a doctor like you, but I think it's sort of on topic for the 4th of July. Right now we're having a lot of controversy, and we're trying to get a health bill through Congress. And I don't know of anything more important than to make sure that everybody has access to medical care. I don't, so I'm kind of an advocate for this, but not everything, giveaway program. But I think that if you look at the outcomes, if you take people who go in the hospital and those who have insurance versus those who don't, all the studies show that people who don't have insurance do much more poorly than people who do. And they've always said, well, they have better care because they know the hospital knows they're going to pay for it. I don't think that's it at all. I think when people don't have insurance, that it puts them into such a situation that they're so stressed out by the financial worry that it causes a biochemical like inflammation in their body that it inhibits their healing.
Right.
Follow what I'm saying?
You got a point there, because absolutely a stress hormone called cortisol goes up in your body. And when cortisol goes up, you go to hell in a handbag.
and this is why I know it's a very difficult subject, and people, liberals and conservatives have a hard time reading the middle. But, each person is just like every organism has cells that make up the whole organism. People are the cells for the nation. The stronger we are and the healthier we are, the stronger the nation will be. Mm-hmm. And we got millions of people are falling apart for no reason. This is nuts.
Yep.
We have all this scientific knowledge, and God's given us all these gifts, and we haven't figured out a way to get them to people in a fair way.
That's very true.
I just think let's just pray that the Congress will have the insight to be able to get along a little better and work for the people instead of for each side. Okay?
Amen. And then the big issue is this: when you provide health care for people, whether they're wealthy or very poor, it has to be accessible health care. People don't realize the prior administration, they're talking about, we've had 20, 30 million people that had health care that they didn't have before. Well, they might have a card saying they had health care, but it wasn't accessible health care.
No.
I mean, because nobody took it. No doctors took it. And then if they did have a brain aneurysm, they had to travel 100 miles to find a neurosurgeon. Well, they couldn't travel 100 miles because they were economically deprived and they had no way of getting there. So it's got to be accessible health care.
Well, if they had an aneurysm, they need to check their copper level. I hear copper's associated with aneurysm.
Oh, yeah, copper levels are associated with a lot of bad stuff.
I've overstayed my welcome here, but have a great day and happy 4th.
All right, Steve, take care.
Okay, bye.
Yep, happy 4th of July to everybody. I'm staying home with the family. I'm not going out doing anything crazy. I'm not twisting the throttle, not pumping down the accelerator. I'm going to be chilling with Mackenzie Paris Lange and Tammy Lange. Who knows, maybe Logan and Brittany will come over too. We'll see. All right, 1-866-977-4820, 1-866-977-4820. And Steve brings up a valid point. Wouldn't it be really great for everybody to get along? Wouldn't the Democrats and the Republicans? Wow, if they all got along, wouldn't that be nice? And maybe that's why I'm a libertarian. All right, let's go back to the phones. Steve in Bradenton, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Give me an update, brother.
Well, my kid's been driving me nuts to go get a second opinion on my eye, and I wanted to come up and see you, and they had another place in mind. It's a big place down south. I won't say the name of it. And they drove me and paid for it and bought me lunch and everything.
All right.
So anyway...
I think that was a good idea, Steve. I think a second opinion is definitely a good idea.
Well, I was happy with Dr. Snyder. You know him or know of him here locally.
Oh, very, very good reputation.
He's given me the Avastin shots, and he says 1 or 2 more shots and I'll be in good shape, and he was real optimistic about me. Mm-hmm. Said the swelling's coming down. Of course, I take my 4 to 5 focus every day, and Danny over at the center takes care of me, and he does a great job. It comes the next day.
Good.
And that's aside. Anyway, this doctor down here that we went and saw, he said that there was some slight scarring on my retina. Mm-hmm. And he says to do an operation would be probably riskier than the the good that it would do. He says it may improve you a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Right.
And he says probably I would say just if you're getting along, just not do it. But I don't know. I just wanted to call and get your opinion on that. I feel like sticking with Dr. Snyder now that I went down and saw this guy,
Right. Every now and then, Steve, you got to get a second opinion to make sure everybody's on the same page. And I think that was a good idea. It gives you a little more peace of mind. And I think the doctor that you're seeing has a very good reputation. If you're happy with him, you should stay with him. Okay. And remember, the things that you've been listening to me preach on this show for a long time now, controlling blood sugar, controlling body weight, exercising, proper nutrition, the right food in, the right supplements in, all this is going to help. As you know, you're vision impaired in one eye, essentially, and getting there in the other eye. So, you got to do everything in your power. So I think a second opinion was definitely, a good idea. So keep following up with your retina, keep following up with your general eye doctor, and, good Lord willing, a little prayer, keep the faith. And, you're going to come a long way. You're a young boy. So Steve, how old are you?
68.
Yeah, like I said, you're a young boy. So you're going to see some amazing things. We'll be talking about some crazy things here over the next few years on this show. We'll be taking people literally out of the darkness and giving them vision through things like bionic eyes. Remember Lee Majors, the $6 million man that, he'd be the $60 billion man today, right? So we're going to have things that are going to come to fruition with the advent of genetic therapy, stem cell therapy, robotics, things like this. You're going to see some amazing things. So, like I said, you got to keep the faith, never give up hope.
I get a little confused sometimes because this doctor down there said that those shots, he says, do they help you? And I says, well, yeah. And he says, I don't even know if they're necessary.
Right.
He had a whole different outlook on the whole thing than the doctor that I go to.
Right. And so, with injections, all right, I mean, usually you have to look at the retina and see if it's inflamed. If it's really inflamed, it has cystic edema, then those injections are a godsend. They really help. But you also have to always look at the potential harmful side effects of everything, every treatment. You got to weigh the benefits versus the risks. So anytime you do an injection in the eye, there is a risk of an infection, an inflammation, an inophthalmitis, an infection, a detachment, a retinal detachment. So, I'm a big advocate of the least amount of surgery, the least amount of medication that gets the job done. But medications and surgical treatments are needed, and they're valuable. So people that poo-poo on all the traditional medical and only are holistic, they're missing the boat a lot of times.
So I'm taking the 4-5 focus, and I saw it 20/50 yesterday, which is pretty good for me because it was 20/60 last time.
Mm-hmm.
And as I told you before, I've lost 60 pounds. I'm down to 230 now.
Congratulations.
Should I still take 2 of the focus every day? That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I would. With this, only one good eye, and with the inflammation you've had. Remember, focus has 3 carotenoids: lutein, zeaxanthin isomers, and astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is the most potent natural antioxidant and combined anti-inflammatory that we know of, more so than ginger, more so than curcumin or turmeric or anything like that. It crosses the blood-retinal barrier because many nutrients don't cross the blood-retinal barrier. It also crosses the blood-brain barrier, so it's beneficial for the brain and the retina. And then the lutein and the zeaxanthin isomers. Remember, this is not just zeaxanthin, it's zeaxanthin isomers, so it has mesozeaxanthin in it as well. So these 3 carotenoids work synergistically very well together. I do recommend eating fish frequently or taking a good triglyceride form fish oil like our Fortify Super Omega, because those work in harmony together. The omega-3 oftentimes can help the carotenoids absorb. We do use olive oil as a delivery system, but I recommend taking it with fish oil or taking it with food, although it will absorb on an empty stomach. It just works a little bit better, I think, when you combine it with fish oil or with a meal.
So take the fish oil with the Fortify Focus, right?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
All right, Steve. Hang in there.
Have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Happy 4th of July. Wow. That's Tuesday, isn't it? I think it's Tuesday. And, we're going to be closed. The Lange Institute will be closed. The slave driver that I am giving everybody off. I'll actually be at the Lange Institute for a half a day on Monday from 1 until 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whenever I finish. Then I'll be back again on Wednesday and Thursday. I'll leave early Friday because I'm either going to be pulling that trailer with that new race car either up north to Road Atlanta or down south to Miami. So I'll know on Monday. All right, phone lines are open. 1-866-977-4820. 1-866-977-4820. I want to talk a little bit more about the Lange Institute in the villages. We do just about anything and everything for the eye and the face. So we do cataract surgery, we do retinal surgery, we do glaucoma surgery, we do nutritional intervention, routine eye care, complex contact lens fitting for keratoconic patients that have had surgery in their corneas. We do hybrid contact lens fits. We do scleral contact lens fits. We have Dr. Jamie St. Martin, Dr. Yadi Exposito, Dr. Seaborn Hunt, of course myself, Dr. Michael Lange, and we've got some great guys upstairs. Dr. John Poser, plastic surgeon upstairs. Michael Moore, Hear More Medical Centers, an incredible hearing specialist. Dr. John Podlatsky has more initials after his name. He's as holistic, natural as it gets. So Dr. John Podlatsky is also a certified nutritional specialist and an acupuncturist, chiropractor first, naturopathic physician, and also went to medical school. So we got a great team up there, a great group of podiatry upstairs as well. So that's all at the Lange Institute. You can call and set up an appointment to see any of our doctors at the Lange Institute. I'm going to give you the phone number twice, so write it down. It's area code 352-753-4014. That's 352-753-4014. You can simply go to my website, just drmichaellange.com. Don't spell doctor out, just DR, no period after it. So drmichaellange.com. That'll hook you up with everything. That'll hook you up with all the social media you can follow me on. It'll hook you up with all of the other companies, the Fortify Vitamin, the Blue Light Defense, the paleo.simplified, all of those companies. You can learn more about what we have to offer. Also, langeyecare.com. All right, let's go back to the phones. Tom in Gainesville, thanks for holding, and good morning.
Hey, good morning, Doc. Great talking to you again. It's been a while. I used to frequent your store here in Gainesville before you got rid of it. But anyway,
right.
I was battling pancreatitis, and doctors don't know why, of course. And I was wondering what supplements you have that I could take. I was taking the Fortified, and I had great results as far as when I did my yearly eye checkup.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as what do you have for the pancreatitis and keeping it?
Tom, how old are you? How old are you?
62.
Yeah, you're still young too. So remember, pancreatitis, I'm not an expert in that field, but itis, anything with itis means inflammation right. of your pancreas. So, ultimately, your physician is going to try to have to find the root cause, but any type of inflammation, whether it's in the eye or the body, if you adjust your diet, number one, all right, so to an anti-inflammatory type of diet. So I like a paleo diet or a modified form of the paleo diet. And so if you go to the internet, you type in the Lange diet plan, or you go to the website, go to drmichaellange.com or fortify.com. You'll see over to the right-hand side of the page under news, and it talks about the Lange diet, and it goes into, it actually tells you what to eat, what time to eat it for a whole week. And if you follow that, I guarantee inflammation in your body is going to go down. We do blood tests on people before they get on this diet, and then blood tests 4 or 5 months after, and you can see that all the inflammatory markers in their body have gone down. Cholesterol, triglycerides have gone down. C-reactive protein, arachidonic acid, tumor necrosis factor, these things have actually gone down. So you are what you eat, and food is medicine, okay? So if you get on a diet, now everybody's not going to follow the Lange diet specifically, but if you need to lose weight, I got people losing average 6 pounds a week if they follow it. Now, that diet has some other things. It's kind of a lifestyle. So it talks about getting a little sunshine, a little exercise, hydrating with spring water, half your body weight in ounces of water, but it's got to be spring water. We talked about that earlier, not acidic water. So some of the things that are in the Lange diet are the omega-3, the Fortify Super Omega, the Fortify Focus that we talk about. Both of those have some significant anti-inflammatory properties, and we've proven that in blood testing, omega index testing, and things where we've looked at these inflammatory markers. So I think the combination of changing the diet and these supplements is beneficial. Now, over 50 years of age, something in our body called glutathione starts to plummet. It starts to go down. And a lot of people start to just feel old. They feel tired. They just feel like they're not the way they were when they were 30 and 20 years of age. And a lot of times they go to the doctor and they say you got low testosterone. So then they give you testosterone injections or testosterone patches. And then your estrogen goes up. And then they give you more drugs to get that down, when maybe all you had to do is bump up your glutathione sometimes. And the way we do that, the best way to do that, is a whey protein concentrate, not an isolate. A whey protein concentrate, you drink a little shake or a smoothie once or twice a day. So you don't want to add a lot of calories with lots of fruits and things like that to it all the time, unless right after working out. So you can just put it in water and shake it up and drink it down. So that's the Fortify Super Protein. But that is in the Lange diet. It's all encased in there. So that's something I'd recommend. I mean, obviously, follow your doctor's advice, find out what's going on, why you have that pancreatitis, but start trying to adjust your lifestyle and your diet and your supplements via, this Lange diet is kind of a guideline. Like I said, you can do some other things, but this has fermented foods in it, so it's great for your digestive system. People that are really bloated, the bloating goes away after 3 days on this diet. And so that's a lot of people look really overweight when they're just bloated. And so the bloating goes down and you feel a lot better. So try that and then keep me posted.
I will. And one other thing I mentioned to my doctor yesterday about the fish oil, and I did the test as far as eating the styrofoam cup.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't aware of it. So as I'm talking to you, I'm printing out your information on the omega-3 that I'm intending to give to him my next visit, which is in 2 weeks.
Fantastic, because a lot of people, and this is one of the first callers this morning, we were talking about stomach ulcers. Well, remember, a lot of people are putting gasoline on the fire, and so they're adding the wrong type of water on top of this ulcer. And then if you're using the typical omega-3 fish oil you buy over the counter, the typical one, not all of them, there are a few brands out there that are good that are being sold, but they're being sold for $40, $50 a bottle. So the typical fish oil has ethanol attached to the backbone. That's called an ethyl ester molecule. And so what happens is when that goes into the stomach, it breaks down, that ethanol is released. It actually causes some gastric distress, and it can cause you to belch up this taste. It can aggravate the mucosal lining, but it's a very inefficient step because it has to go through your liver. It has to cleave off the ethanol, replace it with a triglyceride backbone so it can actually absorb into the bloodstream. So it's very inefficient. It's very unstable, so it goes rancid. I just don't recommend the ethyl ester fish oil to anybody at all. And that's a very easy way to test it. You squeeze your contents of the fish oil in a styrofoam cup and see if it rots a hole through the cup in 10 minutes. Now, if it's very low dosage, 180 over 120, that's 180 EPA, 120 DHA, even the ethyl ester molecule fish oil will not rot a hole through the styrofoam cup. So that can be misleading. People can be taking their fish oil and squeezing and think, oh, this is the good stuff, and they keep taking it.
Yeah, it was amazing. We had 3 different brands here in the house when I came back from one day and told my wife about this. We were going to do this test, and sure enough, the ones, with the exception, yours didn't, but the other ones ate the bottom out within 15 minutes.
Right.
Anyway, appreciate the call and your time. Thanks.
All right, Tom. Hang in there. Take care. All right, 1-866-977-4820. You're listening to Ask the Doctor. I'm Dr. Michael Lange. I'm a board-certified optometric physician as well as a certified nutritional specialist, founder of Lange Eye Care and Associates, the Lange Eye Institute, and Fortify Vitamins. If you've got a question, give me a call, 1-866-977-4820. Let's go back to the phones. Linda in St. Pete, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Hi. The reason I'm calling, I wanted to run something by you, and it might be of interest to some of the listeners, too. I have numerous symptoms of peripheral neuropathy, and I've been doing a lot of research about that online. And somewhere, the connection to low sodium levels in the body came up that might contribute to the neuropathy symptoms. So I started searching that, and a lot of the low sodium symptoms I also have. And one of them was watery, teary eyes. And I've been having that issue for probably about 10 years. And I was wondering, what do you think about that, the connection with the low sodium and watery, teary eyes?
Yeah, that's a good question. And to be honest with you, I'm going to have to investigate that. I mean, there is evidence, like you said, about sodium channels and painful neuropathies. And I'm not an expert in that area at all, so I'd rather not comment on that. Peripheral neuropathies are really kind of hard to diagnose and then ultimately hard to treat, okay? So improving circulation obviously is key in a lot of these neuropathies. So exercise, making sure that you're not overweight, things like the omega-3 that we talk about, ways of improving circulation. As far as the eye component, all right, a watery eye, all right. So that is my area of expertise. So there's a whole host. There's a whole host of things that can cause watery eyes. Now, we'll go over some of those pretty quickly. I mean, number one, a watery eye can be something as simple as what we call entropion or trichiasis, where the eyelids turn in or the eyelashes turn in, rub against the cornea, and cause some tearing. So that's easy because you can see it in the eye in the mirror. So you know immediately if you have that. Number two, allergies. Allergies will cause an eye that water and tear, but usually the hallmark clinical sign for allergies is itching. So if they're not itching and tearing, chances are it's not allergy. Also, viruses. So if seasonal, a lot of times you get a sore throat, it's getting a little cold, you went on an airplane ride, and your eyes are watering after that, and then, 7 to 21 days you get a sore throat, upper respiratory, was probably a virus. Viruses cause the eyes to water and red, and usually a mucopurulent discharge, but it's a yellow discharge. And by the way, don't go to your primary care physician and have them give you an antibiotic because this is viral and antibiotic ain't going to do nothing at all. So usually these virus run their course. That's a red, watery eye. Remember, itchy red watery as allergy. Now, the number one reason for a watery eye, believe it or not, and this is going to sound kind of conflicting, but is dry eye, okay? And so you just said, no, my eye's watering, and I say your eyes are dry. So what happens is there's 3 layers of tear film. There's a lipid outer layer, a mucin inner layer, and an aqueous middle layer. So we have 2 lubricating properties and 1 watery property. As we mature and we start getting older from day one, as we age, we become deficient in the oily lubricating layers, and our body tries to compensate by crying more of the watery layer. Now, if you are drinking water that has no minerals in it, and we talked about this, distilled water and reverse osmosis water, oftentimes the minerals, if you do a lot of it, now just occasionally it's okay, but if you're drinking, 10, 15 glasses a day of this, then the minerals can leach out of your body, go to an area of lesser concentration. Then your potassium levels and sodium levels and things like this become deficient. That can further dry your eyes out if you're mineral deficient. So drink spring water because that has the minerals in it. If you have reverse osmosis, what you can do to make it better, put it in a glass container, the water, fill it up, take some pink sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, chop up a few little fruits and vegetables, throw it in, and let it sit for an hour, then drink that water. That naturally alkalizes the water and puts some minerals, including the sodium, back into that water. So that'll help. But using a good lubricating eye drop, the best on the market is called Oasis Tears Plus. When your eyes are watering, put the Oasis Tears Plus in your eye. That'll help stop the watering because if it's related to dry eye, which usually it is. And then there's a numerous other things we do for dry eye. We clean the eyelids, we heat the eyelids, we nutrify the glands. with omega-3 in the triglyceride format, like Fortify Super Omega. So you should not be sodium deficient if you're eating the right meals, 5 small meals a day.
I don't. My eating habits are really poor. I'm rarely hungry, so I basically mostly force myself to eat. And I also eat very little salt because I really don't care for salty foods.
Right.
So, and then I was learning the difference between, table salt and the pink sea salt, like you were talking about. And
stay away from table salt. That's bleached. It doesn't have any. It's all deficient in everything. You need to eat the pink Himalayan sea salt or the Celtic sea salt because it has the minerals in it. Use that. Sprinkle it on your food. Cook with it. Stay away from the bleached salt.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to start doing. Well, thank you so much. I really enjoy this show. I think it's really interesting.
All right, Linda, you take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, we're getting loaded up. We got a lot of people on hold. Let's see who number. I don't know. I'm going to take this one first. John in St. Pete, thanks for holding. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
All right, how you doing?
Pretty good.
What can I do for you?
I'm about 40 years old. I've listened to your show a few times on the weekend, and I've had, when I was young, when I was 12, I had my lenses removed. So my question is, being that I had that done, I'm not going to be so quick to see, this or that happening. So I wonder what should I be doing, or what could I do to make sure I keep what I got?
All right, so if you had that young and you had your human crystal lenses removed, then you're having to wear either A, big, thick glasses, or they put an implant in your eye, or you're wearing a contact lens. Which one is that?
Well, I wear contacts, and then at night, right before I go to bed, I wear glasses. But at the time, they wouldn't do the implants because the technology wasn't there enough.
Right.
Because the things that hold the lenses in place, they had to remove those as well because it was causing me to go blind.
Right. So what I would recommend right now, obviously, continue to follow up with your eye doctor, whether it's your optometrist or ophthalmologist, with new generation, what they call a phakic contact lenses, okay? And most of the time, these are soft lenses. Sometimes they're rigid lenses. It just depends on your doctor. And so stay up with the latest in contact lens technology, and then you're probably wearing reading glasses on top of that to see fine print. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm supposed to.
Right. And then one of the most crucial things for you, and I recommend this to everybody that's had cataract surgery, and since you don't even have an implant in, remember, those implants at least help absorb some of the UV light, and you don't have an implant, so you're not having anything protecting your retina from the ultraviolet light or from the blue light. So 2 things are crucial for you. Number 1, wear a good pair of sunglasses when you go out in the sun, preferably a brown, amber, or a rose color, and get a name brand. Don't spend, $5 on a pair at, Walmart. Get a good name brand. Maui Jim I love because it blocks the blue light and the UV light. You got to wear those anytime it's daylight and you go outside. Secondly, I urge you to take a supplement that has lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin in it. Of course, Fortify Vitamins has the Fortify Focus. There are other companies that have lutein and zeaxanthin, not many that have added the astaxanthin. And the reason for that, those are carotenoids that increase the macular pigment density in your retina, helping to protect your macula from these harmful rays of light that you're going to be more prone to getting. And so if you don't do these things, it's very quite possible as you get older, you're going to develop macular degeneration because your retina has been getting fried from not only the sun, but from the digital applications in the house, the computer, the iPad, the iPhone. So those 2 things, good sunglass, preferably brown or rose lens, Fortify Focus or something close to Fortify Focus, and then eat a lot of organic spinach, organic kale, orange bell peppers, goji berries, and wild Alaskan salmon. And that's going to protect you, and you'll call me 20 years from now saying thank you.
All right. One more question. Is that the reason that I'm more susceptible to migraines with light sensitivity?
Absolutely. Yes.
I don't have that.
You have none of God's natural protective mechanisms protecting the back of the retina, so you're going to be super light sensitive, and light is one of the biggest reasons, bright light, for triggering ocular migraines as well as regular migraines.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. I appreciate your input.
All right. You take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
All right, 1-866-977-4820. 1-866-977-4820. Give me a call if you got a question. All right, we're going back to the phones. Tony in Ocala, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Yes, thank you, sir. I have a question for you. Right now I'm taking Nexium, and I know it will inhibit bone growth. What kind of calcium and magnesium can I take that it won't affect as much?
Yeah, I'm glad you said calcium and magnesium, because calcium and magnesium work very closely together, and the level of each of those must remain in kind of a balance in order to regulate all sorts of, cellular activity. So I got to tell you, out of all the products on the market, there's one that I really like. It's made by Douglas Laboratories. It's called OsteoGuard plus Ipraflavone. And what they do, they take a type of calcium called hydroxyapatite. They combine it with the right levels of magnesium, phosphorus, boron, vitamin K, all right, that's important, vitamin D3, along with something called ipraflavone. So I like that with ipraflavone, or a product that has strontium in it, because ipraflavone and or strontium helps this calcium absorb into the bone instead of circulating just through your arteries and potentially causing calcification of your blood vessels. So too many people out there just going willy-nilly, going to the local store and buying 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate, calcium citrate, or whatever it is. And that's too much, because then what happens is that increases your risk of a stroke, a heart attack, dementia, Alzheimer's, and macular degeneration, because all of this calcium is just going through your blood vessels and starting, basically, in layman's terms, to clog those small little blood vessels. And so it's got to absorb into the bone and not just circulate through the body. So you can Google Douglas Laboratories OsteoGuard plus Ipraflavone. You can get it in Ocala at Fortify Vitamins on 17th Street. You can get it on fortify.com. But at least look at their nutrient profile. And if you don't get that brand, you can search for one that has a similar profile. They've done the research. They've figured out what really works. And my mom's bone density went up like 4 or 5% when she was on this, when she got off the calcium 1,500 milligrams her doctor had prescribed years ago. So I think it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I had what they called a tibia knee realignment, where they put the cadaver bone in. And for the first 9 weeks, my bone healed 0%.
Wow.
And it had my doctor stumped for a second, so I told him I saw the advertisement about Nexium could cause sudden bone fractures.
Right.
And he went to the computer and he told me to stop taking it immediately. And I went on to Xanax, and it helped long enough for the bone to start fusing. But I've had a really slow rate of my body converting the cadaver bone to my bone.
Why were you on the Nexium?
What was it? Because Nexium is not the only thing I've found that actually stops the gas. I have gastric reflux.
Right.
And a hiatal hernia.
Right.
And that's been the only thing that's helped.
And so then you switched not to Xanax, you switched to Zantac. Is that what you switched to?
Yeah, Zantac.
Okay, good. Yeah, not because Xanax is a benzodiazepine. So anyway, once again, these things, if you were to, I don't know what your diet's like, but if you adjusted your diet and go to the internet, go to the drmichaellange.com or fortify.com, look at the Lange diet, okay? Look at that. Okay. Start implementing that into your lifestyle. Now, it's actually some good foods. There's some good stuff in there. There's not a lot of it. There's 5 small meals a day, but this is made for you. It really is. It was developed for people that have acid reflux, heartburn, irritable bowel syndrome, people that are taking a lot of these, acid blocking drugs, because those do block the absorption of many nutrients, including calcium. And so, if you listen to me, I'm a big advocate of the least amount of medication that gets the job done. So if you, oftentimes, I've seen it in thousands of patients over the years, if we adjust their diet, but we get them on the right diet, diet that has fermentable foods in it, it has some probiotics in it, it's FODMAP free. We talk talked about that earlier in the show. A lot of doctors don't even know what that means. FODMAP-free, that means there's fruits and vegetables you should avoid, believe it or not, things that you eat all the time like broccoli and cherries and cabbage and cauliflower and asparagus and onions and garlic. These things can create the problems that you're having because these ferment in your stomach and they actually cause bloating and gas and acid reflux. So simply by going FODMAP-free, gluten-free, and then the things we talked about earlier, drinking the right type of water, it's a total adjustment in your body, and that's what the Lange diet is. You'd be surprised. I've seen people in your exact situation where all of those problems go away and they don't have to take any of these medications anymore. So try it. Look at it and start implementing it in your diet, into your lifestyle. Either go cold turkey and follow it 100%, or at least, do a couple of meals a day that are on the Lange diet plan, and then let me know how you're doing.
Okay, you said something a minute ago to someone about sunglasses. Okay, I wear a brand of sunglasses called Ray-Ban Ambramatics. You can't get them anymore. Are they safe for you to wear as far as for people who have light sensitivity?
Yeah. Ray-Ban Ambermags were not a bad lens, okay? And that was a glass lens. It wasn't a plastic lens, so it didn't scratch. Yep. And it did have a color that had some blue filtering properties. It did block the UV light, which was good. So that's an above average sunglass. I think you're fine with that, as long as you haven't had cataract surgery, right?
No, I haven't had. The only thing, fluorescent lights give me a headache.
Right.
And when I was younger, I don't know what it was about my eyes, I could see a lot better at night than the average person. And
but fluorescent lights give you...
in the military, I got stuck with night duty.
And so fluorescent lights give you a headache, and a lot of that could be related to the flicker ratio, and believe it or not, the blue light that is emitted by fluorescent lights. So there's a lens that actually I developed called Blue Light Defense, and you can learn about it at bluelightdefense.com. Next time you get prescription glasses, if you need a prescription, have the optical make it out of the blue light defense material. Literally, a blue laser will not go through it. It blocks all the harmful wavelengths of the blue light that creates a lot of issues. And so people after cataract surgery, I recommend their glasses have blue light defense, and their sunglasses also have the blue blocking properties, because after cataract surgery, you don't have God's protective mechanism in your eye, the human crystalline lens, aka the cataract, which is absorbing the blue light. So blue light defense can help a lot of people. A lot of people that have been getting migraines, a lot of people that have sleep problems, a lot of people that are on a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, indoor lighting. If they go to the blue light defense material, a lot of these people, their anxiety goes away and they sleep a lot better. But we're protecting the retina for your future health, basically.
Okay. I appreciate this, and I got other questions I'll ask you next week.
All right. You take care, Tony.
You have a good day.
Bye-bye. All right. So, yeah, you heard me promote a lot about the Lange diet. You could actually get a copy of this diet. We've got it like in a fourfold, color fourfold. It's really quite attractive. So you can get it. If you call 4 to 5 Vitamins, we'll mail it to you. You can go to the Lange Eye Institute or the 4 to 5 Vitamins distribution center right there in Ocala on 17th Street, Southwest 17th Street, right next to Wood U. Can't miss a huge American flag right out front. And once again, it's a diet that I've got many patients losing 6 pounds a week on it. I lost 18 pounds before I went into the Formula race cars back a few months ago in Arizona. 18 pounds in 10 days on it. And, I've really kept the weight off now, and I feel really good. I'm not 100% on it, but for breakfast I had it, and then for lunch I'm going to use it. For supper, I'm probably going to have something that I really want, because I've been a good boy for breakfast and lunch. As a matter of fact, I'm getting right after this. I'm going to go recumbent biking for about an hour, and then I'm going to go sculling out on Tampa Bay and do a little rowing so that I can have that whatever I want for supper tonight. All right, so let me give you a few phone numbers. The phone number for the Lange Eye Institute, if you'd like to set up an appointment to see any of my great doctors at the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, is 352-753-4014. That's 352-753-4014. And then for 4 to 5 Vitamins, Monday through Friday, the phone number is 866 866-503-9746. 866-503-9746. And remember, you can buy these vitamins that we've developed, that we've talked about today, at fortify.com. I'm out of here. Happy 4th of July, and God bless you.
Is this the price for having learned how not to cry?